Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday night. We are back for more. So, as we sit here and wait for the 30-second timer to kick along in the delay that they have on here, we will see what we get. So, let's wait and wait and wait. I see a couple of people saying 5x5 already. Okay, my screen hasn't even come up. So, I'm there. What do you know? I got an awesome snap. Let's try to refresh and see if we can get this again. All right, now I get an ad. Lucky me. Get rid of that. Now let's see if we can get the chat back. That would be a nice thing to have. Come on, YouTube. Where are you? It was working fine for an hour, and then right as there we go. Okay, so we got the chat going. All right, good. And I see 5x5's coming across all the way, so good deal. Happy Saturday, guys. It's been raining here for 2 days. Not that I'm complaining, but it's still February. But moving on along. So, been a interesting week. As you guys, I'll start with this one just because a lot of you guys are supporting me on this. I want to tell you where I am. So last Saturday I was telling you about my doctor's appointment and going on a diet, and I decided to do the carnivore diet. Mrs. P is completely on board with us, with me on this. Okay, so she's doing it too. Now she didn't start until I think Tuesday, and I started on Sunday. So tomorrow morning will be my first 1 week. But we decided we were going to weigh in weekly and see where we are and record this. So I knew what my weight was, I knew what my belly size was, and I knew what my blood pressure was last week. Now I want to give you this, that you sit down and you look at this, your plate, and you go, how in the world? Okay, I'll give you this. My breakfast this morning was four quarter-pound cheeseburger patties with cheddar cheese on it and 4 hard-boiled eggs. My dinner tonight was 4 beef ribs. That's all I could eat. I had one night this, let's say I give you some breakfasts. I had 4 eggs and a pound of chicken livers one morning for breakfast. I had one day for dinner where it was 2 T-bones and a ribeye. And you look at this and go, seriously? Okay. But this is what we ate. Weigh in this morning. I am down 12 pounds. My belly is 2 inches smaller than it was last weekend. My blood pressure is slightly different. Okay. My systolic has come down 8 points. My diastolic is up 8 points. So I was 138 over 82, and I was 130 over 90 when I just took my blood pressure about 10 minutes ago. So for the most part, my blood pressure hasn't moved, but I've lost 12 pounds and 2 inches in a freaking week. Guess what? We're still going on this. So moving along, but I was pretty damn happy. I did not expect to lose that much, and I don't expect that's going to continue. Okay, I mean, obviously, water weight and all this sort of stuff. The keto flu, as they call it, I haven't experienced. Not that you really want to. I haven't experienced the bowel movements that people have talked about. It's just doing with it. And it's not like I'm going out to the gym for an hour or running 2 miles or something like this. This is my normal working around the house, same lifestyle as I've lived for years. Okay, haven't done anything different except what I've eaten. Yeah, don't ask me. Hey, I'm not the doctor, but a lot of you guys said it worked, and I'm now seeing that. So here we go. All right, so let's see, what are we at? 9:04. We're still got a few minutes. Okay. But Yeah, so the interesting part, you're seeing the liberals eating their own tonight. If you notice the fun one, uh, the Biden administration is now talking that Merrick Garland might not be the right person for the AG's job because the administration is all pissed off that he didn't edit the special counsel's report the other day. I talked about that a little bit at the lunchtime video today, which I still think the GOP does not need to help the Democrats right now. Let them do that themselves. Okay. But I got a kick out of reading all the bad press that, the White House is putting out about Merrick Garland. And I'm going, yeah, this is the same guy that Obama wanted to put on the Supreme Court. Okay. He was good enough for Obama to be on the Supreme Court, but he's not good enough to be Biden's AG because he said something mean about Joe. And Joe's poor little ego can't handle it. Okay. Right. Because Joe, I'm sorry, every day now you're sticking your foot in your mouth. Okay. Just do me a favor, Joe. Don't go near Air Force One. We don't need you falling down the stairs again. Okay. But, like I said today, the Republicans do not need to help the Democrats push Joe out. Okay. Don't do their job for them because all they'll do is come up and play victim. Be like, oh, they used the 25th Amendment to kick Biden out, so now we've got to come up with another candidate. Play victim all day long, right? No, let them do it themselves. Let them go and say, well, you know what? We decided that our incumbent president is a complete idiot, moron, incompetent, dementia-ridden Alzheimer patient, and so we're going to replace him. Let them do that. Let them catch the fallout. Don't let them play the victim. That's my point. So, all right, let's get into some fun. It's 9:06, and I figure anybody who's going to be here is here by now. So, all right, so let me remind everybody, we are giving away a Mango E generator tonight, the one I reviewed yesterday morning, yesterday lunchtime, whenever it was, for you guys to see. I mean, like I said in the comment on that one, there's something you can hook up as a whole home system for under $5,000. That's freaking cheap. Okay. Good generator. All right. So for the drawing, okay, you must have entered on yesterday's video, you must have entered the state in which you lived in, the lower 48, and of course the vegetable. All right. So we have that. I will draw a name. The person will have 3 minutes to reply in the comments that they are here, and then they will be the winner. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this again. And as I told you guys last time, we're changing this up. Once me and the mods say no comments, that means no comments. It's no longer a 5-minute timeout. You now get a 24-hour timeout. You are now done from the rest of the live stream. You have no chance of winning. And then I will go through in the morning and decide whether or not you will be done permanently. Okay? Because I'm going to start keeping records of who thinks they're better than everybody else, and that's it. Please understand, this takes a whole lot of time for me to work these deals with different suppliers and discuss things and what we're going to do. I'm not asking for much. I don't get paid to do this, okay? You guys get something out of it, okay? I don't think I'm asking for much that, hey, just shut up for a few minutes and make life easy for me to find out who the winner is, okay? Because if the 24 hours doesn't work, we're just going to go to a permanent ban, and that's going to be that. So, I mean, I asked for 9 months, and we still had people that didn't want to listen. I'll make it easier, okay? The other thing I'm going to say, just so we don't have this problem again, I hope everybody watched the part in the video where I showed what you need to make sure matches on your homepage, okay? Now, like I said, if your comment comes up, your name, the name I draw is Joe Smith, and you come up and you're Joe Smith 2611, I'll look at that real quick and make sure those match. That's fine with me, okay? But if the comment came up Joe Smith and you come and say, that's me, and it's bacon and eggs prepper. No, I'm not going to look at it. That's just 24 hours. Bye-bye. Okay. Simple as that. So please, when we're doing the drawing and then when we're waiting for the winner, no comments. Okay. I'm not asking much. Please be polite. Okay. All right. So let's flip this over and we'll get into this. All right. So here we go. There is the link from the video, and we will go to fetch. Again, we are not including replies. Everybody has to make a primary comment only, and we do not allow duplicates. So let us see how many entries we have. And considering there's 2,800 of you in here, I'm guessing we're going to be probably somewhat close to that. So. And we're pushing 2,000 here. And there we go. So we have 2,372 comments. Okay. Moderators, put it up there. At this point, do not comment. Otherwise, you get a 24-hour timeout. Okay. There we go. Cat Ladies put it up. Motimer's put it up. Tristan's put it up. Robert's put it up. Prep Rebels put it up. Okay. Any more comments that we see after Prep Rebels commentary? Or let's do it now after Jacob's. After Jacob's comment that says no more chat in the room, Claudia Ortega, you just got 24 hours. Deanna Walters, you just got 24 hours. Misery Prepper, 24 hours. Guys, not delete the message. You give them a 24-hour timeout. Okay. You can see it. Sweet Success Trading, 24 hours. Are you guys done? Did you think I was kidding? Okay. We just had 4 people who don't want to pay attention, so they do not have any chance of winning, commenting, or doing anything. All right, so let us pick a winner. Jason Irwin, there we go, 89. Hello from Nebraska. We are going to plant peppers and cucumbers. Thank you for all you do and for great information. That is a valid entry. Jason Irwin, 89. We are looking for you. Again, nobody making any comments. Jason Irwin is here. That'll work. All right. Jason, let me just double check you. I want to make sure you wear the Jason Irwin 89, and you are. As you guys can see right here, Jason Irwin 89 is the same as Jason Irwin. That I'm fine with, okay? So Jason, what I need you to do is email me your name, your physical mailing address, and your phone number, and I will get it all over to Sophie, and we will get this sent out to you probably early next week. It'll get out to you. So, all right, so let me get there. Okay. And we'll get back to where we were. And I will adjust all I need to do, and we will be, there we go. Okay, let's get the screen right. All right, so congratulations, Jason. All right, so good deal. I think that's our first winner for Nebraska. I don't remember ever sending one out there, so that'll work. Good. All right, and Jason, hey, you know, if you need to use this out in the barn or whatever it is, like I told you the other day, this one will work to 4 below, so that's a good thing. All right, so let's get into regular Q&A tonight. As per normal, if you have questions for me, please put them in all caps, right? Just like every other YouTube channel. Makes sense, okay? Just makes it easier for me to find and go through the chat room a lot faster that way. The only thing I do require, as per normal, is, you know, everybody be on your decent behavior, okay? Disagreement's fine, just no being an asshole. If you want to be rude, crude, insulting to me or to anybody else in here, you're just gone. That's it. There is no, oops, I said that wrong. No, you're just gone. Okay. Uh, the mods will toss you, then the mods all email me on anybody they tossed. I go back, I read the comment, and I decide if you ever come back. Okay. People think I'm a hard ass about this. Yes, I am. Okay. Simple as this. This is a family friendly place. We keep it PG-13. We do not degrade each other. If you can't handle that, go to one of the channels that likes to do nothing but bitch. Okay, there's plenty of them out there. All right, let's get into questions. And I saw one earlier before you guys started that I just wanted to show you. Somebody had asked about their potatoes chitting and if they should cut off the growth on there and will it still grow? Okay, I'm gonna show you this. Mine are chitting, obviously. This is my longest one. Okay, you can see that's probably about 5 inches. On a tomato or on a potato that's the size of a shooter in marbles. Okay, no, do not cut off that growth tip. Do not, as you can see, this has got one stem from it. If I cut off this stem, that one's done. Okay, so don't cut off the growth tip on here at all. This is fine. This is why I say leave them in a low light area. Don't leave them in dark. Notice the color. It's not white. Okay, I've been searching for light. This is getting a little bit of light, so this is healthier. Obviously, when I plant this, it goes in the ground about 6 inches deep, and I might even have some tips sticking out to start. That's fine. Okay, don't worry about it. All right, let's move on to Jeremy Wenger. Thank you. I don't understand how people cannot follow simple rules. Congrats, Jason. Dude, I'm right there with you. Okay. Okay. Nobody. How deep does the raised garden need to be for tomatoes or peppers? Okay. Really? Probably 6 inches, maybe 8 tops is all you need. I mean, if you do it with a 2x6, okay, it's 5.5 inches, or 2x8, that's 7.5 inches. That's plenty deep for basically any vegetable other than a root vegetable. Potatoes, okay, or beets or carrots. You're going to need deeper soil. You're going to need 12 to 16 inches of soil for root vegetables, okay, maybe 12 to 14 even. But for your typical above ground fruiting vegetables, I don't care if it's tomatoes or cucumbers or cabbage or whatever you're growing, 6 inches of soil is all you need. Again, it comes into this. Don't waste your money putting great soil in 2 feet deep. The roots never get there. Okay, as they get to that native soil, yes, some of them may go in, but if it's really hard like it is here, all they'll do is start spreading out horizontally. Okay. Don't waste a ton of money doing it. If you want your beds deeper because, hey, it's easier if they're a little higher, you're older, you don't want to bend so far or anything like that. Sure, that's possible. Maybe you want to build your beds 2 feet deep so it's easier to get to. Fill it with sticks, fill it with logs, fill it with tree branches, any of the waste you've got in, your grass clippings, put that all on the bottom. It's kind of a hugelkultur type thing. Just put all that organic waste like a compost pile in the bottom. You're never going to dig it up, but over the course of time, it will compost and it's actually going to release those nutrients into the soil. So if you need to build your beds higher, fill the bottom, let's say you build a 2 foot deep bed, fill the bottom 1.5 feet with waste product. Okay. Leaves, grass clippings, sticks, anything. Okay. Don't fill it all with dirt or soil. Susan Lathrop, pinball, that's awesome. 12 pounds so quick. Thank you. It surprised me. That's a lot fast. Okay. I mean, mind you, that's 6 days. That's 2 pounds a day. That's crazy. It's not sustainable. Okay. Not that I can't keep that off, but I'm not going to keep doing 2 pounds a day. But I've got to figure at the beginning, a lot of that is probably water weight. Now, y'all know me. I don't have the sugar cravings because I'm not a big sugar person. I don't drink sodas. I don't eat bakery. Occasionally, I'll eat. I mean, I won't say I don't eat bakery. I mean, occasionally I'd have a turnover or something like that, but it's not my deal. Maybe some candy or something sometime, but not often. So the sugar was not a big thing for me. For me, it was the carbs. Okay, between the potatoes, the rice, the pasta, and the beer. All right, we took all that out. Obviously, I've got a bottle of water in front of me here. Okay, that's where it's coming from. So, grumpy old man, do I think Michelle Obama will run instead of Biden? I talked about this on the lunchtime video today. I know Vivek Ramaswamy came out and said, oh, yeah, they're positioning Michelle Obama. I don't see it. Okay. Michelle Obama hates politics, can't stand it. I mean, she's more than thrilled to have her house in the Hamptons and have her house in Hawaii and just be a community organizer, a rabble rouser, without any of the repercussions from it. She likes to be the center of attention. She just doesn't want to have to face any of the consequences for being it. So no, I don't see it. And even though everybody says, well, she'd just be a figurehead, she doesn't want that. Okay. Uh, I'll my money is on Gavin Newsom is going to be the white knight, if you will. And that's why I think that he was parading around, going down to Florida and debating Ron DeSantis and, stupid things like that. The problem is Gavin Newsom California is more effed up than the rest of the United States because of Gavin Newsom. You think Biden's bad, let Newsom be in the White House. But fortunately, I don't think it matters who the Democrats run. If you saw something like this evening, the latest poll on Hispanics has flipped. Hispanics now support Donald Trump more than they support Joe Biden. Figure that one out. Your strategy didn't work, Joe. And we kind of told you that too. Simple are us. Being on the carnivore diet, will I still grow veggies in the garden? Absolutely. My garden's not going to change whatsoever. I mean, even though potatoes are an absolute no-no, I'm still growing potatoes. Why? Okay. Because I can still store them. I can still barter them. And if the world goes to shit, like a lot of people are saying it's going to this year, okay, let's hypothetically say that so many of these people are right that we don't have a 2024 election, that Joe Biden declares martial law, that, all of a sudden you can't go anywhere. I have to eat something, okay? I'm still going to grow my food. I'll need more canning jars. I'll need to put more stuff up. That's the first part of it. The second part is, like any diet, once you hit your goal weight, then you get to maintenance. And as I was explaining to people last week, right now I'm on a 0 carb diet. A keto diet is the best way, they say, keeping your carbs under 25 grams a day. Okay, now I looked this up. A cup of mashed potatoes, basically 1 scoop, okay, is 39 carbs. Okay, so mashed potatoes are not going to be out of my diet unless shit hits the fan. Okay, but the objective, and this is both me and Mrs. P's plan, is once we get down to our goal weight, then we will go on a maintenance plan, which will include some vegetables, which will be where I'm going to get the 25 carbs. Some vegetables are a lot lower than others, but, okay, maybe we'll be able to have a little bit of potato, maybe. But again, it's still a food that I want to have put back just in case. Kay Webbles, do I think Trump will stop CBDC? Well, I guess CBDC's got to start first because, like I said, we won't see it in our lifetime. Maybe if you're watching this and you're 20, you might. Okay. but it ain't coming. Every time somebody says, oh, we're going to see this, we're going to see this, we're going to see, no, we're not. Okay. They may try to digitize the dollar a little bit more, make cash a little harder to use. But as I was talking about yesterday, that's already, they're trying, and the market, the open market, the basis of capitalism is already saying no. The banks are trying to say, well, we're going to charge more if you use a credit card so we can make more money. And the retailers are all saying, okay, guys, use cash. Okay. Like I said yesterday, you know, two different stores, and a couple of times, one to charge 3% service fee for using my card, one want to charge a 4% service fee for using my card. No, they got cash. Okay. Simply put, uh, I, I'm not worried about CBDC because it's a pipe dream. It won't happen. Jacqueline Presnell, if you plant Brussels sprouts, when do you plant them? If you are in my zone, 6B, 7A, it should have been this past week. Now, if you're up north or whatever it is, but you're planting those pretty damn soon. Okay. I mean, I don't care if you're up in Minnesota. If you're up in Minnesota, you're probably planting them by the end of February. But if you're where I am or south, they should already be planted. If you're maybe Kentucky, Southern Illinois, Nebraska, that kind of area, now. Robert Polk, you said some people are watching the live stream, but almost a minute behind because YouTube isn't showing it the second it airs. I get that. That's why I talked about it nearly 6 minutes before I did the drawing. So at that point, no. And it's not like I haven't said this for damn near a year. Okay. So, and I even put it in the video where they had to do it. There aren't any excuses. So, yeah, I think I've gone over and above notifying people. Okay, PT Dark Moon or BT Dark Moon, you were the one that asked the potatoes question, so we just saw it there. Dawn Hill, how long do you think that bone broth that has been canned lasts on the shelf? You should get a couple of years out of that without a problem, if not longer. Obviously you want to use your rotation with it, but yeah, I mean, Ball will say 18 months. I've got stuff on the shelf that I've been eating that I canned in 2020. I mean, it's 4 years old and it's still fine. Dave the Kid, Pinball, any thoughts on the EcoFlow Ultra? Yeah, it's sitting about 3 feet from me. Yes, I've got one here to review. That will go up on the 19th. That is the scheduled date for that one. It's a very different unit. And I'll explain all that in the review. I'm still trying to figure some of the stuff out in it. There's a lot of freaking bells and whistles on this thing. And I mean, just it's a good, I haven't put it through the paces yet. I can tell you, I know it's a good unit, okay, just from what I've already done with it. Depending on what your needs are, okay, we'll see. It's going to be overkill for a lot of people, but I mean, the market on that is probably to compete with something like a Tesla Powerwall or something like that, where you want to go completely off grid with it in a good size building. Let's leave it that way. But I'll get into that in a couple of weeks when I'm allowed to review it. Jim C, what are my thoughts on these GMO tomato seeds? Well, you must be a farmer because that's the only person that's going to get GMO. GMO seeds are not available to the public. Okay. You can't go into Walmart, you can't go into Home Depot and buy GMO seeds. GMO seeds are sold to farmers And the farmers have to sign a contract with whoever the seed company is, Pioneer or Monsanto or whoever it is, that they will not save seed from it. Okay. So they're buying it every year. You and I can't get GMO seed. So unless you're a farmer, I wouldn't even concern myself with it. There we go to the bottom. Okay. Ken Buckley, do unconnected solar generators need to be protected from EMP? Maybe. Best answer I can give you. Okay. Uh, and again, I mean, every time we get questions like this, nobody knows. We've never had an EMP. Okay. And they can go back and say, well, we had the Carrington event. Okay, we were still using the telegraph at that point, guys. Right? You know, cell phones and computers and digital everything totally different. Think of the difference of cars back then and now. Okay. My answer to anything on this has always been, people say Faraday cage, EMP shield, whatever. And my answer has always been this: do whatever you can to protect whatever you've got, but don't be upset if it doesn't work. Okay. Full disclaimer: I've got an EMP shield set up on my house. Okay. I have no idea if it'll work. But what I do know is this: if I don't have that on there, 100% guaranteed my electricity's fried. Okay. So it's, do I want 0% protection or a 50-50 shot? Okay. That's what it is. In your situation, protect them. Okay. Buy some EMP bags, or, however you want to do it, whether you want to make your own boxes or trash cans or whatever, and do it. They might work, they might not. Okay. Everything might work doing nothing. Okay. Like you said, unconnected. But it's like even the comments that you get about automobiles, some people, EMP shield will sell a thing to hook up to your car. Other people have said cars are already shielded from anything like this. Who's right? We don't know. We've never had an EMP shield. And they can talk about all they want about the testing they've done, and that's great. It's not the same as the practical application, real world, this actually happened type stuff. So if I were you, would I protect them? Yes. Okay. Just because it at least gives me the 50-50 shot. Mike South, how to get rid of worms on peas. I don't know. I've never had that problem. Yeah, and I mean, there's so many different kinds of worms. Unfortunately, I don't know. That's not a problem I've ever encountered. Kathleen Maddox, pinball electrolytes help with reducing or removing keto flu, potassium and salt. Now, we've been salting our food, no problem. I mean, it's funny because I'm usually not one to salt my food. And all of a sudden this week, it's like we're eating food and I'm like putting salt on my food. I'm like, this is different. Okay. I did get 4 boxes, the little, the little packs where you pour them in a bottle of water. And I got 4 boxes of those things to get the electrolytes and stuff like that. So they showed up yesterday. So I've just got them, and I'm supposed to have 1 bottle of those a day. And so I had my 1 bottle a day. I'm trying to follow the directions as best I can. But I mean, it's, again, it's like, Mrs. P's like, I haven't lost as much weight as you do. I'm like, because I weigh a lot more than you. If they're taking on percentages, everybody's different. Things aren't going to affect people the same way. So, but yes, thank you for that. But I already on it, already got the electrolytes. Amanda Wilkerson, I'm excited that my carrots have germinated. I do not do all the stuff you do. I have raised bed. They're 8 to 12 inches deep. Okay. Uh, and at that point, you should get, I mean, as long as you have good fluffy soil, not rocky clay soil or anything, nothing to do, you should get decent carrots out of it. Y'all know me. I'm having the world's hardest time growing carrots. Try a different variety this year, new Corotas, and we'll see. Those supposedly grow well here, so we'll try that. But cool that your carrots have germinated. That's a good thing. Uh, Sharon Fritz, I have onions coming up from last year. Do I need to give them anything extra? Uh, okay. When you say onions coming up, are you talking about like bunching onions? Are you talking about chives? Are because I mean, there's so many different kinds of walking onions, so many different kinds of onions. I mean, if you're talking about your ball onions, the typical ones most of us cook with, okay, uh, they, I give them the normal anything, any of those. I give the normal 10-10-10 fertilizer that you normally do. The only thing is with if they're like you planted ball onions and they're there again, okay, they're coming back up. Like maybe you missed an onion last year or something. Those are going to go to seed this year. Okay, onions are biennial, so if you planted them spring of 2023, you didn't harvest them. They're growing again now. Now they're going to seed this year. Ildiko Prepper Kitchen, will I have a get together this year? I have no idea. Do not know. Way too many variables in 2024. Broken Dolly, what do you feed your young fruit trees to help them get a good start? Okay, this is, the directions on the fruit trees are good. Dig a hole that is twice the size of the root ball and fill it with compost and plant the tree in the compost. And that's it. Okay. You don't need to give them anything because they're trying to grow those roots out. I saw at Walmart the other day. The fruit trees are out. They're starting to move out the garden supplies and stuff like that. But yeah, just dig that hole bigger. Get those fruit trees in now. Let them get a chance to get their roots set at least into some good soil until eventually they'll work their way into the native soil. But while they're starting, just get them in compost and they'll be good. Buzzard, thank you for the deal. Great job this week. Awesome results. Hey, I'm not complaining. Beardiful Patriot, do I use ground cloth in my raised bed for weed control? Yes, I do. I do a couple of different things for weed control. I hit the beds where I'm not going to direct seed, where I'm actually going to put seedlings in. I start those with preen. Okay, that's already been down. I get preen for vegetable gardens. That's a germination inhibitor. That stuff's good for 90 days. That's why I get it in the ground now. And then when my seedlings are ready, they've already germinated. I don't need to worry about it. So that will do the first part of getting my weeds controlled. And then I do use a weed barrier for planting in. And you guys have seen me do that before. It's just burn a hole in it, put the plant in, move on along. It's good. It's a hell of a lot better than weeding. It's not perfect. Okay. Remember that. You're still going to get weeds that are going to come up and, where you planted your plant, there's still going to be weeds that are going to come up along the side. So you're still going to have to go out there and pick out a little bit of weed. Okay. Don't think by putting weed cover down, you're going to get rid of everything. You won't, but you're going to get rid of 95% of it. Save it. Your weeding time in a week for my gardens is an hour. Autumn West, how is Mrs. P doing on keto? She's doing fine. You know, she's had the sugar cravings and I'm proud of her. She's been very good that she hasn't cheated or anything like that, unless she's getting up in the middle of the night. Not that there's anything she'd really get anyway. Uh, she had a couple of Diet Cokes this week. Diet, sugar-free, caffeine-free Diet Coke, so basically brown water. Uh, but that was literally it. So she's done very good. She had a cucumber or cucumber sticks with one meal early in the week, which is cucumber's 90% water. So, okay, maybe there's a carb in a cucumber. That was fine. She's doing good. So, old hippie 60, I love the way you run your ship tight. Yeah, damn straight. That's it. That's how I run my life. Like-minded. I just picked up a Mossberg Shockwave. I like your thoughts. What ammo for home protection? Okay, I've got a Mossberg shotgun too, and I've got turkey shot that I keep in mind. In mine. I know people say you can get, buckshot, double-aught buck, or something like that. Yeah. Okay. How much penetration do you need? Uh, you know, I've got salt shells too, as well. So I could, very easily throw one of those in for non-lethal defense. I mean, I've got the shells that throw a net out in case somebody's flying a drone over, and I can shoot that out of the sky. I mean, skeet shooting would be fun like that. Uh, but yeah, for my home defense, it's loaded with turkey shot. And Mossberg Shockwave, excellent, excellent shotgun. That's what I've got. Now, it depends on what you got. Did you get the pistol grip to it? Did you get the bullpup to it? Or did you get the full shotgun? Because I got mine with a pistol grip, and I love it because it's so much more maneuverable. I mean, it's now, this far in my hand. I mean, I can go down my stairs, narrow stairwell, and I'm not trying to, either straight in front of me or trying to work down. I can still stay at port arms with that thing and not worry about hitting a wall. Steve Tavolacci, what made me decide to do the carnivore diet versus any other one? Well, I wanted to find one that worked. That was the first part. Okay. I went and started researching all these things, and I've got a meeting with the nutritionist from the VA on Monday. And, of course, when I went to go see the doctor, they're like, well, you need to go on the DASH diet, which is the typical USDA one that says, eat all these beans and grains and carbs and everything, and then, the food pyramid. And I'm like, okay, that's what gave me this in the first place. That's what they're recommending. So I'm still waiting for this nutritionist to go, well, that's what you need to do. I'm saying, well, I'll tell you this. Here's the medical study published in the AMA that says the DASH diet isn't as good as the carnivore diet for losing weight. And I said, I know what the DASH diet is because that's how I got fat. And I said, I've already got some experience with the carnivore diet because this is what I've lost. So can you support me or not? Is going to be basically how that conversation is going to go. But no, I had done, looked up the Mediterranean diet and keto and so many different things had come up going, okay, you got to get rid of the carbs. And every time I'd look for something like that, the carnivore diet came up. And then saw Sean Baker, and I saw Ken Berry, and I saw Dr. Boz, and I kid you not, I've probably watched 150 videos this week on either doctors talking about it, about YouTubers talking about what they've done. Bill Knott up in Alaska, who came in at 700 and some odd pounds, Homestead Howe. Many of these. I wanted to see what people's reaction to it was, so I knew what to expect, and so far, it's working. So, Renee Schweiger, if I care to share, what did my dietitian say? Just like I said, it'll be Monday, so I'll know there. Jojo Erkey, any idea on an e-taker generator, solar and wind turbine? I've never heard of it, so I couldn't tell you if it's good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Debs, Pinball and Mrs. P, are there any foods you miss on the diet? Mrs. P gets her sugar cravings, but she's fighting back. And every once in a while I'll be like, I could really go for a beer. And I'm like, crap, no, I can't. Grab a bottle of water. So yeah, I mean, and this is expected, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm craving pasta or I'm craving potatoes or I mean, come on. If I'm putting a steak down in front of me, well, I will say this, thank God for buying a side of beef or a cow, if you will, because I can't afford the grocery store prices. Uh, but you put a big fat steak in front of me or a couple of hamburger patties and some eggs. I'm pretty happy. Okay. The meat and potatoes type of guy. I'm the meat guy. The potatoes are there for just filler. Just to make my plate look pretty. I'll eat them, but obviously, but yeah, if I just have to eat meat, you're not hearing me complain. Uh, Pam's spam. California approved wastewater for drinking water due to drought. If true, how to filter or be safer? Okay, at that point, if you are looking at that, you have to get a reverse osmosis, a three-stage filter, the charcoal, the RO, uh, everything, because if yeah, I mean, I don't trust anything California does. And, I mean, there's just everything you see coming out of that state, out of the government decisions is borderline criminal. Uh, you couldn't pay me to drink out of the tap in California. I'll tell you that much. Uh, but yeah, if you got this now going on, I would get myself a Berkey or an Alexa Pure or something like that. And every drop of water you use, I would run through those things because it, you don't, as much as they tell you it's filtered and stuff like that, I guarantee you this is wherever this is from. Who knows? It's just somebody filling it up out of the tap there and maybe filtering it out to get putting it through a zero water or something to get out some of the dissolved solids. You know, don't be scammed by this. It's just freaking water. And it's ridiculous that we pay for the bottles. But I mean, I'll get a bottle of water and I keep going back and just filling it up in the sink. And it's like, why? It's a container to me. That's got a lid on it. That's it. I don't need to keep opening new ones and new ones. It's like I'll just fill it up again. So I'll have 6 bottles of water a day. I'll use one, maybe two. Ann Jennings, my peaches are leafing and budding. What can I do to protect the blooms if and when they bloom? Yeah, that's always the worry, and it's hit me the last couple of years as we get this warm weather, my peaches bud, or my peach tree buds, and then we get a freeze and kills everything. Uh, and again, it depends on how big your tree is. I mean, my peach tree is probably 20 feet high. It's a dwarf, right? Uh, you could get a ladder out and throw a tarp over it. That's about the best thing you can do. It doesn't have to be anything heavy. One of those, like a plastic painter's tarp. It's cheap ones that you get at Walmart. Throw that over the top. That's going to keep the wind from blowing on there. It's going to keep the moisture from condensing on there. That's about your best bet. I mean, unless you're going to put a heater under it or something like that, which that's not practical. Gee, I'm going to put fire under a tree. I wonder what could happen there. The best thing you do is try to cover it. Kathy Acevedo, what if the potato tips are white? I'm figuring you're talking about this. If you look really close, okay, obviously here's the potato, purple in here, green, there's some purple, and that's pretty damn close to white. Okay, don't worry about this. This is fine. Amy Arsenault, how do I store my homemade seed tape? Yeah, if you watch that video, that's great for carrots, radishes, that sort of stuff. Just roll it up, okay? Obviously fold it in half and be, 3/4 of an inch thick or whatever. Roll the tape up, stick it in a drawer. It'll be fine. I mean, that's it. Just, don't get it wet, obviously, but just roll it up and put it in a drawer somewhere in the dark. It's good. Don't put it in the freezer. You'll just dry, dark. Okay. Don't put it in the fridge because that's moisture. Freezer's moisture. It'll never unroll. Just in a drawer. TB, I just want you to know major delay was here on my end from the start. Just want you to know. Okay. Okay. Robert Frederick, maybe I could show people how to change their name. I mean, I can't walk everybody through how to live life. Okay. You can, if you can't figure out how to change the settings in your Google accounts, it's not rocket science. Go to settings and change them. I'm not trying to be an ass, but come on. People have to, we're preppers. We have to learn how to do things for ourselves. We can't be led around by the nose for everything. Yarn Prepper, while we were at our daughter's helping with their new grandson, they got their new house insurance policy. New clause says they will not cover loss from war or nuclear blast. Thoughts? That I remember hearing stuff about that last year. I can't answer. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're an insurance company. They're going to cover themselves. Okay. The whole point of the insurance company, is to make money. It's not to insure you. How many years have you been driving your car without a ticket, without an accident, whatever? Has your insurance rate ever gone down? No, it goes up. Okay. I've paid you for 10 years. I have no tickets, no accidents. Why do you keep raising my rates? By now I could buy a new car. Well, we have to make money too. So that's the thing. Eventually it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to cover insurance, and they'll just say, well, we don't cover anything, but the state says you have to have insurance, or the mortgage company says you have to have insurance. So you just have to write us a check. We won't help you, but I mean, insurance companies are the biggest scam in the world. It's how can they take as much money from you can without doing anything for you? I mean, how many stories do you hear about people about having to sue the insurance company? Well, yeah, it's supposed to cover if somebody slips and falls on my porch. Well, we find that it's negligent, so therefore it's not covered because, they didn't have enough tread on the bottom of their tennis shoe. I mean, that's the kind of crap they pull. Fastball 2611. Have I heard anything about the border in Texas? It's got very quiet. Yeah, that convoy that everybody was talking about, 700,000 trucks, didn't really do a whole lot. And there's been like very, very little to no news coming out of the border here in the last week. So I've noticed that. I've looked for it. I'm like, why aren't we hearing anything? Wilderness Woman, did I see GMO tomato to be released for general gardeners this year? First the seeds to go out for general gardeners. Never heard of that one. Okay. I mean, and I know you well enough, so you're not misusing the word GMO with hybrid or anything like that. That's a new one on me. Okay, that all of a sudden there's GMO seed, a GMO tomato that's released. No knowledge about that one. That shocks the crap out of me. KR, I have sweet potatoes in storage that have sprouted. I broke off the shoots and put them in water. They're doing great. Lots of roots and leaves now. Order slips, but don't need them now. There you go. Yes, you got your own. You didn't have to pay for them. Give the slips to somebody else, one of your neighbors, one of your kids, or something like that. Let them grow some sweet potatoes. Doris P, have I ever eaten okra and tomatoes smothered and onions smothered down? And no, I'm not. I've had okra a couple of different ways. I cannot stand okra. I don't care to try any other ways. I'm not eating it. Don't put it on my plate. You're just going to throw it in the garbage. Okay. I don't care if somebody says my grandmother's recipe is the best recipe in the world. Good. Let the garbage can eat it. I won't touch it. Uh, Heather Bray, thoughts on the Chinese economy? Has it hit rock bottom? No, but it's getting there. Okay. After the whole Evergrande deal, I mean, I told you maybe a week or so ago about what the markets in China have done in the Biden administration, during the Biden administration. I mean, you know, down 50% on one index, down 25% on the other index. They're starting to see bankruptcies, like crazy over there. The Chinese people, anybody that can, is trying to get out of the country. I mean, China's falling apart economically. The media won't tell you that, but the numbers do. And so, again, we get to the worry of what do countries do when they are economically trashed? They go to war, right? Mama Shiner, is it too late to plant garlic in zone 7? Yeah, pretty much. You can try, but you if we can, I mean, we've been having 50 and 60 degree temperature. You need that cold winter for them. You can try and hope we get a good chill, but I wouldn't count on good cloves. Let's put it that way, or big ones at least. Kimberly Kane, what is the best way to get a hold of my county sheriff so that he'll actually talk to me? Go walk into his office. Hi, I'm here to see the sheriff. Instead, I'm not leaving until he comes out. Phone calls and emails are lazy. You want to get somebody's attention, go stand there, okay, and keep. Is the sheriff available? Eventually he's going to get so pissed that you won't leave, he'll talk to you, okay. And then, especially if he's a elected sheriff, remind him that he's elected and you are one of the constituents. Dale from Ohio, do I think the Magnificent Seven stocks will go down the same way as tech stocks did in 2000 soon? Considering what's going on in Washington with them every week grilling Google or Facebook or the pedophilia or anything like that, I've got a video that is coming out in the morning. I recorded it this evening, and it touches on this. Based on what's currently going on, it's going to be a whole lot more than Magnificent Seven stocks that are going to go down. The market is setting itself up for a 1929, 1987 crash. You get the details in the morning. Jason Irwin, my email is acting weird. As soon as I type your email into my Yahoo account, it basically locks me out of typing anything else. I have no clue. I haven't used Yahoo email in 15 years. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see, we got time for a couple more here. James Starkey, if I found bacon seeds to plant in the garden, don't I wish? Now, considering I have to eat more of it. 10-4 man, we as a state voted that only citizens can vote. Could the feds make Ohio reverse that? I wanted to, it's a really good point. Why do we even have to do that? Gee, I'm a French citizen. I want to vote in the United States. Where in the hell else in the world can I go cast a vote? Will they let me vote in Japan or Australia or Russia or Sri Lanka or Colombia or Mexico? No. Then why the hell can they vote here? Oh, well, they pay taxes. No, they don't. They pay sales tax, BFD, okay? They don't pay income tax. That's what supports everything else. God knows they don't own any property, so they ain't paying property tax. Don't give me that crap. Why we have to vote that only citizens can vote, that is the most idiotic thing ever. And I know it's going on, don't get me wrong. And the feds should make Ohio reverse the fact that in all these other cities that are allowing illegals and non-residents, I don't care if you're a green card holder or whatever it is. No, you should not be allowed to vote, period. Voting is a right of the American citizen. If you aren't an American citizen, no, you aren't allowed to vote. And I don't understand what these idiots can't get through their head that I have more rights than an illegal. Sorry. Way to end a live stream, huh? Have a good one, y'all. Pinball out.